My 600lb Life star Mark Rutland is back with new updates amid his weight loss journey. He's one of Dr. Now's most successful patients on season 11. He appeared on the show at 715 pounds, making him one of the heaviest on the season. His weight made it difficult for him to do any physical tasks. He was on the verge of becoming bedridden for life. Fortunately, he found the courage to turn his life around. But Mark is facing new battles ahead of his surgery. Keep reading to see what happened. Mark inspired many viewers during his episode. Just like all of Dr. Now's patients, the My 600lb Life star was tasked with a low-calorie diet and some exercises. However, Mark took a different route on his journey. Instead of trying to pursue a bariatric surgery, Mark decided to lose weight naturally. He wants to become proof that people can lose weight without the help of surgery, which could also be dangerous to a person's health. Mark was able to drop 137 pounds by the end of his episode. He left the show at 578 pounds, but his progress got even better afterwards. But Mark is facing new struggles amid his physical journey. Mark Rutland recently took to IG to share quotes about smiling more and being born to fight, no matter how dark his life gets. The My 600lb Life star went on to say more motivational words, including stepping up when everybody else around him sits down. Mark's quote comes following his previous announcement about an upcoming surgery. According to Mark, the medications to treat the tumor throughout his body didn't work. Due to this, he was advised to undergo surgery. The operation will not only help remove the tumors, but it will also restage his cancer. Mark has yet to share updates about his health, but many fans took to his comments section to send him positive messages. "So great to see you. Love every word you wrote. Resonates with my soul. You inspire me. I really admire your mental strength. I would erase it, if I could, after just reading you're sick. Not because I don't mean it, but because it doesn't matter. Unfortunately I can't somehow." Mark Rutland has also dropped a significant amount of weight behind the cameras. The My 600lb Life star has yet to share his current weight. But he has been taking his weight loss journey seriously. Earlier this year, Mark told his followers about his New Year's resolution. It includes being more physically and mentally active. However, it seems his cancer battle has also caused a major setback for him to reach his goals. Introduction. Mark Rutland had always been a man of resilience. At 45, with his towering frame and a heart weighed down by years of emotional burdens and physical pain, he faced a defining moment. The journey to losing over 400 pounds was not just about dropping numbers on a scale, it was about reclaiming his life, his purpose, and his hope for the future. But as he sat in the dimly lit hospital room, preparing for the upcoming surgery that promised to change everything, Mark found himself grappling with a storm of emotions. Anxiety, fear, doubt, and a flicker of hope swirled within him like a turbulent sea. The background, a life overshadowed. Growing up in a small town, Mark's childhood was marked by instability. His parents' turbulent relationship and financial struggles led him to seek solace in food. Food became his refuge, his comfort, his friend. Over the years, this coping mechanism spiraled into a life-threatening condition. By his late 30s, Mark's weight had soared past 600 pounds. His mobility was severely limited. Simple tasks like walking to the mailbox or climbing stairs became insurmountable challenges. His world shrank to the confines of his home, and his dreams of a different life seemed distant. Despite numerous attempts at diets, weight loss programs, and therapy, he found himself trapped in a cycle of despair. The mirror reflected not just his physical state but also the emotional pain that had accumulated over decades. The turning point. It was during a routine hospital visit for a minor ailment that Mark was confronted with the stark reality of his health. Doctors warned him of imminent risks: heart failure, diabetes complications, and potential organ failure. The diagnosis was clear: he needed to lose weight, and he needed to do it fast. The doctor recommended bariatric surgery, a procedure that could potentially save his life. But the road to surgery was fraught with challenges: physical, mental, and emotional. Mark knew that the upcoming months would test his resolve like never before. He decided to commit to the process, but as the date drew nearer, doubts crept in. Could he truly change? Was he strong enough to face the pain and the emotional upheaval ahead? The pre-surgery struggles. Physical challenges. In the weeks leading up to the surgery, Mark experienced intense physical discomfort. His joints ached, his breathing was labored even at rest, and sleeping became an arduous task. Simple movements required immense effort, and he often felt like a prisoner in his own body. He attended pre-operative counseling sessions, where he learned about the importance of mental preparedness. Yet, each session unearthed buried fears, fear of failure, of pain, of losing the only life he knew. Emotional turmoil. Emotionally, Mark was a whirlwind. Memories of past failures haunted him. He questioned whether he had the strength to stick with the lifestyle changes required post-surgery. He felt a deep sense of shame and guilt, believing his weight was a personal failure. He confided in a support group online, finding solace among others fighting similar battles. Their stories inspired him, but also made him confront his own fears. What if he couldn't follow through? What if the surgery didn't work? Family and relationships. His family was supportive but distant, struggling to understand the depth of his struggles. His wife, Lisa, was his anchor, often holding his hand during tough moments. She reminded him of his worth beyond his physical appearance, urging him to fight for a better life. Yet, even with her encouragement, Mark felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness. His body was heavy, but his mind was heavier with doubt. The day of surgery, a crossroads. The morning of his surgery was filled with a mixture of anticipation and dread. Mark was wheeled into the operating room, the bright lights and sterile environment stark against his emotional chaos. As the anesthetic took hold, his last thoughts were a silent prayer, hope for a new beginning, a plea for strength, and a wish to see the world beyond his limitations. The post-surgery journey, rough seas. Immediate aftermath. Waking up after surgery, Mark was overwhelmed by pain and exhaustion. His body was battered but hopeful. The medical team monitored him closely, adjusting medications and providing reassurance. Physically, the recovery was brutal. He faced nausea, fatigue, and the challenge of learning to eat small, nutritious portions. The emotional toll intensified. He grappled with frustration and fear of failure. Emotional rollercoaster. The days following were marked by intense emotional swings. Moments of hope were interspersed with despair. He questioned whether the pain was worth it, whether he could endure the sacrifices required. He remembered the stories of others who had succeeded and failed, and he clung to their experiences as a source of motivation. His wife visited daily, offering love and encouragement that kept him from giving up. Facing the mirror. One of the most challenging moments came when Mark looked at himself in the hospital mirror. The reflection was a stark reminder of the journey ahead. He saw the scars, the loose skin, and the weight of his past, but beneath that reflection, he saw a glimmer of determination, an ember still alive, waiting to ignite into a fierce resolve. The road to healing. Physical rehabilitation. As he regained strength, Mark began physical therapy. Each step was a victory. The pain persisted, but he pushed through, motivated by the thought of reclaiming his mobility. He committed to a strict dietary plan, focusing on small, nutrient-dense meals. The support of dietitians and counselors helped him stay on track. Mental and emotional healing. Mark attended therapy sessions regularly, confronting the emotional roots of his overeating. He explored his childhood trauma, learning coping skills to replace food as his refuge. He journaled his thoughts and feelings, gradually releasing the shame and guilt that had haunted him for years. Building a support network. He found strength in community, support groups, family, friends, and online forums. Sharing his journey made him feel less isolated and more accountable. Lisa remained his unwavering supporter, often reminding him of his worth beyond the scale. The turning point, a new beginning. Months after surgery, Mark experienced significant weight loss. His health improved dramatically, his blood sugar stabilized, his energy levels increased, and he began to move with newfound freedom. The emotional battles were ongoing, but each small victory fortified his resolve. He realized that his journey was not just about losing weight but about transforming his entire life. He started engaging in activities he once thought impossible, walking in the park, playing with his children, and dreaming of future adventures. Reflection and hope. Looking back, Mark understood that the road ahead would still have challenges. Recovery was a marathon, not a sprint. But he had learned that resilience, support, and self-compassion were his greatest tools. His story became an inspiration to others facing similar battles, a testament to the power of hope and determination. He now advocates for mental health awareness, emphasizing that surgery is just one step in a comprehensive healing journey. Conclusion. Mark Rutland's story is one of pain, perseverance, and ultimately, hope. His rough times ahead of surgery illuminated the depths of his struggles but also the heights of his strength. With each obstacle he faced, he grew stronger, more determined to embrace life beyond his weight. His journey reminds us all that transformation begins within, and no matter how dark the night, dawn always follows.